Shalom, I'm back. So we were looking at Proverbs 4, and we're going to read verse 20 through verse 22. Proverbs 4, the 4th chapter, the 20th verse to the 22nd verse. Let's read verse 7 first. It says, wisdom, which is proper application of knowledge, is the principal thing, right? Therefore, get wisdom, get the proper application of knowledge, and with all thy getting, get understanding. This is very key. Get understanding. So when we jump to verse 20, it says, my son, attend to my words. Incline thine ear unto my sayings. This is instruction of a father to the son. My son, attend to my words. Incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. You see? And here the Most High is our Father, our Heavenly Father, telling us to read this Bible. And let the words of the Most High not depart from thine eyes. He's saying, keep them in the midst of thine heart. Keep them in the midst of your mind, right? For they are life. You hear that? These words are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. You see that? Health to all your flesh. That's why these words, when you enter this word, you can see that it works. That's why he said, look, the first scripture we used to bring out back in the 90s, Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, the Most High power is one power, right? So what did MASHAYACH say about that scripture? That's the Shema. Shema Yasharella, Yahawah, how you know, Yahawah God. Look at Mark 12 and 29. That's Hear, O Israel, the Most High power is one. Right? One power. This is what he said. Mark 12 and 29. And the MASHAYACH answered him, the first of all the commandments is what we just read in Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power is one power. You see? That's the first of all the commandments, right? The first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel. Hear, O 12 tribes of Israel. The Most High, our power is one power. And thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. That's the first commandment. But it's not the first of all the commandments. That's why he just said, hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power is one power. That's the first of all the commandments that we just read in Deuteronomy 6 and 4. That's why I say he only had the law and the prophets to go by when he walked the earth. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor, that's an Israelite, as thyself, as yourself. Because that goes back to the law in Leviticus, the 19th chapter, the 1st and 2nd verse, and the 17th and 18th verse. This is what he's quoting. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these. Why? Because the laws are showing you how to love the Most High and how we got to love each other. How we serve the Most High and how we serve each other. That's the law. As Israelites. Going back to Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, the Shema. O Yasharella, the Most High, our power is one power. And thou shalt love the Most High, thy power, with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, in your mind. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house. You're talking about it. But if you ain't talking about it, you ain't about the Most High. And when thou walkest by the way you're walking, you're talking about it. You let it be a part of your life. Doing the will of the Most High. The Most High telling us this. And when thou liest down, when you get ready to go to bed, he ain't just talking about praying. He said you're supposed to be doing this during the time that you're living in today, telling you what you're supposed to be doing. How we supposed to be, you know, talking about him, talking about the laws that he's given us, that he wrote with his finger. That he wrote with his finger. The work of the Most High. When thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down when you go to bed, and when thou risest up, when you wake up in the morning, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house, and on thy gates. And it shall be, when the Most High thy power shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers. This salvation come to us right now. Because we're not going into the kingdom, to the land that the Most High promised to our fathers, till he brings salvation to the Israelites. Listen, and it shall be, this is the future, when the Most High thy power shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not. You gotta understand. He gave us great and big and goodly cities which we built not, because it was already built. Now, it's going to be a difference for the kingdom. That's why I say go to Isaiah 60. Isaiah the 60th chapter. Which we build it not, right? That's why he say, look. Isaiah 60 and verse 10. And the sons of strangers, these other nations, shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates in the kingdom, you got 3 gates on the north, 3 gates on the south, 3 gates on the east, and 3 gates on the west. And each gate of 12, one of the 12 tribes is going through those gates. That's why he said, therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles. This is the new IRS, Israelites Receiving Services. That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles. The remnant of the Gentiles that's going to be left in the kingdom. And that their kings may be brought. It says, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee, they don't want to do this, shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. You see? So, going back to Deuteronomy 6 and 10, and it shall be, when the Most High thy power shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities, which thou buildest not. Because we just said, strangers going to build up our cities, and houses full of all good things. All houses full of all good things, which thou fillest not, which we ain't going to bring. Remember, all the forces of the Gentiles going to be brought to us. All the forces of the Gentiles be brought to us, you see? Which thou fillest not. And wells digged, which thou diggest not. Vineyards and olive trees, which thou plantest not, when thou shalt have eaten and be full. Say, then beware, like I'm telling y'all all day long, then beware, lest thou forget the Most High. And think you done did this yourself. You know how people are. Some people think riches is godliness, is righteousness. And they fall for it. It's a snare. Then beware, lest thou forget the Most High, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Like we in spiritual Egypt right now. Thou shalt fear the Most High thy power, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. Ye shall not go after other idols, or the idols of the people which are round about you. For the Most High thy power is a jealous power. Remember, we read in Exodus 34:14, his name is jealous. He said, for the Most High power is a jealous power among you, lest the anger of the Most High, thy power, be kindled against thee and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. Kill you. Kill you. Understand, overstand this. Proverbs 16. Proverbs 16. And we're going to look at verse 24. Pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul, and health to the bones. You see? Pleasant words are as a honeycomb. When you humble and you're not prideful, when you can actually receive pleasant words, are as an honeycomb. Sweet honey taste, sweet to the soul, and health to the bones. You see? From there, the 3 John 1:1. The elder unto the well-beloved Gaius, whom I love in the truth. Hear that? He say, Gaius, he say he loved in the truth. In the truth. He's in the truth. And the truth is what? Psalms 119:142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. It says, beloved. See? Beloved, he said. Who are the beloved? Baruch 3:36, right? Just to prove to you that it's talking only to the Israelites. Who he said beloved. So when you see beloved, we're going to go to the Old Testament to see who are the beloved. Baruch 3:36. He have found out all the way of knowledge and have given it unto Jacob, his servant, and to Israel, his beloved. See? So these words, when you see them, then you know without a New Testament, there's only the law and the prophets that to go by. You got to go back to find out the meaning of them, some of these words. Beloved, that's the Israel. Israel, my beloved. He's an Israelite. I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. You see, because all prosperity is not good prosperity. Most High reign or bless the just and the unjust. Understand this, y'all. But there's a price that the unjust got to pay for the benefits that they receive on this earth and not knowing the Most High. And that's pain and suffering and torment. When the world is over, that judgment is right here. A lot of y'all might think, okay, well, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's read it. 2 Ezra 9 and verse 9. Then shall they be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways. That's his laws and commandments. And they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. I didn't write it, the Most High saying it. For such as in their life have received benefits, they got money. They live in lives and have not known me. They ain't keeping no laws of the Most High. And they that have loathed or hated my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it, the same must know it after death by what? By pain. Thus say the Most High. That's why it's important, y'all, to hear and understand what this is about before it's too late. We in these last days, we got to really look at trying our best to do the best we can while we can do something. A couple of times you might not be able to do that. You might not be able to have this Bible and His Word, or the ability to be able to come online or through social media and hear the word of the Most High. Look at go to your Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus, the 38th chapter. Ecclesiasticus, the 38th chapter. This pertaining to physicians. A lot of times you have to go to a physician, a doctor. Ecclesiastes, the 38th chapter, it says, honor a physician, that's a doctor, with the honor due unto him, for the uses which he may have of him, the uses which you might have of him. For the Most High have created him. For of the Most High cometh healing. You know, the Most High healed, He wounded, He healed. 2 Samuel 2 and 6. Second Samuel 2 and 6. It's like the 1 Samuel 2 and 6. Oh, it's a long time since I've done this, so 1 Samuel 2 and 6. The Most High killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Most High maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up, you see. So, the Most High is the one that does everything, you see. He the one, as we read in Deuteronomy 32. Says, see now, verse 39, that I, even I am He, and there's no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. You see? So the Most High letting you know. So this is the law. That's why David is saying what the law says. He said, I wound and I heal. You see? So if you want to be healed, the Most High said He wound you. When you're afflicted, He said, hey, be afflicted. You know, He gonna dip us in the fiery furnace of affliction. So He the one that wound and He the one that healed. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. That's what MASHAYACH said. Go to St. John, the 10th chapter. MASHAYACH told us, man, He was in here. He said, look, He said, St. John 10:29, He said, my Father, which gave them me, is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. Straight up. That's why you better be talking about the Most High. You better have a relationship with Him. You got a relationship with Him, you ain't talking about Him. He said over and over again, tell, you know, we the children. We children. Are we the children of Israel? Talk about me. Going back to Ecclesiastes 38th chapter. He said, honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which he may have. You might have to go to a doctor for a certain, you know, specialty that he have for him and of him. For the Most High have created him. He shall receive honor of the king. So like for the Most High, for of the Most High, Salakia, cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of a physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration in the things that he can do, that the Most High is working with him. The Most High have created medicines out of the earth And he that is wise will not abhor them. He that is wise will not abhor them. He ain't make medicine to smoke though. That's why, look, go back to Genesis. Let's go back to the beginning. When he made these herbs and so forth. Genesis 1 and let me find it. Verse 29. Genesis 1:29. And the Most High said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed. So these seedless grapes, seedless watermelons, and all of this stuff that he created in the lab is not right. And the Most High said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. Hear that? Yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. And you eat meat. You eat these things, man. Not smoking. It's for food, for nourishment. Going back to Ecclesiastes 38. Verse 4, the Most High have created medicines out of the earth. You have many things that you're looking at, herbs that come out of the earth that are beneficial for us. And they have taken the medicines and the herbs of the earth and mixed their little things with it that's contrary to how the Most High would have us operate with his herbs. To have you, you know, like weed. You go through this weed dispensary. They selling weed and they spray it, whatever they spray it with. What's your problem? Okay, you got a problem with your back? Okay, spray the weed and take this, smoke this. What you got? You got a lung problem? Okay, spray it with something. Take this. It ain't natural from the earth. Don't let it come out of the earth that the Most High made that you can say, okay, it heals this ailment, this ailment. Nah. And smoking it? No. You can eat it. He said for meat. Do you smoke meat? Herbs are for meat, like meat. You smoke meat? I don't think so. You eat meat. But see, that might be too hard for you to understand. But that's what he said. That's what he just said. That's what I just read. Go back and read it again. This is what it says. Verse 4. The Most High hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them, will not, hate them. Was not the water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known? Most High had that tree fall in the water, and it made the water sweet. And he have given men skill, that he might be honored in his marvelous works. With such does he heal men and take away their pains. Of such does the apothecary make a confection. Mix all these things together, and of his works there is no end. And from him is peace over all the earth. From the contractions that he make to be able to heal you through the herbs. Like you got herbalists that know the different herbs that heals people. My son, in thy sickness, be not negligent, but pray unto the Most High, and he will make thee whole. Hear that? When you sick, pray unto the Most High, he's going to make you whole. And you got to stay in this word. Remember, the word is life. Leave off from sin. So now you got to stop doing what's wrong. That's why he would say, when the Mashiach was to heal someone, he would say what? Sin no more. Or a worse thing going to happen to you than you dealing with now. Now you done prayed to the Most High, he done healed you. Now here it is, you done went back into sin, doing something wrong. Say it's going to be worse for you. Remember that unclean spirit that come out of you. Okay, put it like this. That's why he's saying, when you looking at sin, and there's a judgment that comes with sin, then when you are healed from your affliction, then you're told not to sin anymore. So when you heal, that's when that unclean spirit comes out of you, and you have a brand new beginning, right? But when you go back to sin, that's you back where you was at. That unclean spirit say, I'm gonna go get a complete number of spirits to come deal with you, and it could be worse than it was, and getting rid of that one spirit, unclean spirit that was in you, or however many it was. But that one, that's the main one, gonna say, I'm gonna get a complete number that's worse than the one that you had and you already that was released. And they gonna come and dwell and say, yo, the end of you gonna be worse than it was before you start to come into this truth. That's why I say you can't run from this. I don't give a damn who you are. You still got to deal with the Most High. And he said, what you going to do when you stand before the Most High and he's angry? That's something to think about. That's why it says, Ecclesiastes 38:7, with such does he heal men with his herbs and take away their pains, take away the pains. Of such does the apothecary make a confection, and of his works there is no end. And from him is peace over all the earth, because he's making the things from the herbs that heal people. You want to be healed? He said he's going to make something that's going to heal you. Take away your pains. My son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Most High, and he will make thee whole. You can't pray to the Most High and you're prideful. That's why I say he want a humble and broken and contrite spirit. And he knows you can't hide this. Leave off from sin. You hear what he say? Leave off from sin. And what are you sinning? When he say do this and you don't do it. Don't do this and you do it. Sin is transgression of the Most High's laws, which most of you say we ain't under. Because the majority of people, 2/3 of people saying that we not under the laws of the Most High. You've been programmed. Your brain been polluted to believe a lie. For real. The sorcery, the witchcraft that's on this earth got so many people twisted that they come out, the spirits that's in them come out. Them evil spirits that's in them come out against the Most High. But they think they dealing with me. They dealing with somebody else. Somebody else in the truth. But those spirits that you have to deal with in life are against the Most High. They can think they dealing with you all they want to, but they against the Most High. Because he's telling you what you're supposed to do. If you ain't doing it, and you got a problem with it, then hey, you're going to be left in the hand of the Most High. So that's why I say, leave off from sin, and order thine hands aright, and cleanse thine heart. Cleanse your mind from all wickedness. From all wickedness. That's why how you going to cleanse your hand and your mind from all wickedness, and you don't even know what wickedness is? You don't even recognize it. You can't go to the scriptures and validate how you feel, how you think. Something wrong with that picture. That's why we got to learn it and live it and apply it in our life. So the Most High can have mercy on us. Otherwise, we're going to be caught in his hands, man. When he's angry. Stand before the Most High and he's angry. Leave off from sin, verse 10, and order thine hands aright, and cleanse thy heart. Cleanse your mind from all wickedness. Give a sweet savor and a memorial of fine flour, and make a fat offering as that being. Then give place to the physician. You know? Give place to the physician. That's the doctors, y'all. For the Most High have created him. Let him not go from thee, for thou hast need of him. Sometimes you got to go to a physician to find out what's going on with your body. Get you a checkup every year. Make sure you are all right. There is a time when in their hands there is good success. Hallelujah. You see, there's a time in their hands where there's good success. I remember praying. I had everybody fast for me when I had to have an operation. I had everybody praying for me. And I prayed that the Most High would allow me to have people around me that cared, that had a loving spirit. Because that's very important. Not to have these evil people that are around you that want to take you out, or that want to do something to hurt you because you vulnerable at this time. And it was a miracle. Because the one that was doing the surgery, I went in there to deal with him. He looked like Frankenstein and Lurch and Fred Flintstone and all of that, man. But he was real stern. He was like talking to me like, yeah, just I'm like, oh man, wow. He the one got to do this surgery on me. I had everybody fast and pray for me. You know, I can make it through all right. And man, when I went to do the surgery, he came in like, hey, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? I was like, just to hate me to say, dude, this can't be him. But he was like real. He was cool. He was mellow. He was like, man, it was like a whole nother person compared to when, you know, cause my doctor that, you know, we was cool. He told me, I'm gonna give you the best surgeon in LA. I said, I'm gonna give you the best. He was cool with me, so I'm gonna give you the best. And he was the best. As far as I'm concerned, because I ain't had no problem since he did what he did. And it's like, and then all the people that was involved with him had a really cool spirit, man. Then I had to go to rehab, and I couldn't believe that, you know. And check this out. It was Jacob on one side and Esau on the other side, and I'm in the middle. Jacob, you know, he wrestled with the angel, and he wrestled with the angel, and his hip came out of joint, right? So this Jacob didn't have no legs. His hip was, he didn't have no, he just had up to his hips. And they took a crane and took him out, and he never left. Once I came in there and he heard me talking to people about the truth, he never left his bed no more. He stayed there all the time, listening, and we was learning the truth, you know what I mean? And Esau was over on the other side, and the nurses was in there waiting for him to die. It was something, you know. But everybody was, I had to tell the manager, I said, where did you find these people? They were so, must I answer my prayer? They were so together and having a great spirit, you know? That the prayer was answered. That's a miracle to me, because it was all love, you know, all love. And that's what it's about, you know. There's a time when in their hands there is good success. It was good success. And I know others have testimonies that they can testify of the same. For they shall also pray unto the Most High, that he would prosper that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life. He that sinneth before his maker, you that are sinners before the Most High, let him fall into the hand of the physician. Whew, that's difficult. That's why you better be on point, because something happened to you and you can't do nothing but be in the hand of a physician. Remember who wounded you? The Most High wounded you. Now he put you in the hand of a physician. He say, and you a sinner, he that sinneth before his maker, before the Most High, let him fall into the hand of the physician. You hear that? So this is very key, because they can either, like this, it's known facts that they have came in there and they will say, I've just seen some footage. Well, I've been seeing it, but it's coming out again that Martin Luther King, they took a pillow and put it over his face and poof, took him out. Ain't nobody in there with you. You gotta think about it. Your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your aunt, your niece, your nephew, your cousin, your friends, your social, and nobody could be in there with you but them. Whoever it is. And they got control of what they're gonna do to you. Hear what the Most High said. He that sinneth before his maker, before the Most High, you want to break his laws, statutes, and commandments, and think you ain't got to follow him, give him the middle finger? He said what? Let him fall into the hand of the physician. A whole lot of people fell into the hand of the physician, especially during this pandemic. That's why you better be on point, man, as much as you can, man. My son. That's it right there. You see what he left us with. You want to sin against the Most High? Say, let him fall in the hand of a physician. And you're not going to be for you? Woo. Exodus 15 and 23. Exodus 15, 23. And he said unto them, Exodus 15 and 23, this is that which the Most High hath said, tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath. unto the Most High. Bake that which ye have, bake that which you will bake. Salaki, I'm on the wrong chapter. Exodus 15 and 23. Salaki. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of it was called Marah. And the people murmured against Moses. Remember, it told we already went over it. Don't be murmuring. But they murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? And he cried unto the Most High. Why he cried to the Most High? Because the people were ready to take him out. But they murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? What are we going to drink? And he cried unto the Most High. Gotta hear what it's saying. That's when the Most High had pity. And he cried unto the Most High, and the Most High showed him a tree, like we read about in the Apocrypha, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them, and said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Most High thy power, and will do which is right in his sight, to do what he say do, his law, statutes, commandments, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Most High that healeth thee. So here we are, done created our own Most High, our own power, and not realizing we are caught up in the same situation, wanting some sweet water from a sour water, drinking out of a wicked cistern, and thinking that it's going to help you. With the Most High looking at everything. That's why I say call on your idols. Call on whoever you believed in. You ain't talked about me. I ain't in your conversation. But some is your conversation. If it's more about you, then let you help you. That's the idol that you got to call on. Or somebody else that you feel is more important than me. Do you realize the name is jealous? Look, y'all better understand. Ooh. Ooh. Ezekiel, praise the Most High. Ezekiel 22 and 20. I love it when I be talking about him and he just show up and show out and just say, hey, boop, you turn the Bible, because I could go anywhere, but I don't know where to go, precisely where to go. Turn these pages, say Ezekiel 22 and 21, he said, in 20, he says, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace, to blow the fire upon it, to melt it, all these different materials that you put in the furnace to melt it, he says, so will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. That's what it said. Hold that. Once again, some of you might be just hearing it for the first time. Well, we got to read it again. Psalm 70, 6 and 7. Thou, that's the Most High, even thou, Most High, art to be feared. And who may stand in thy sight when once thou art angry? And here you are standing in the sight of the Most High, and he's telling you straight up, as they gather silver, in Ezekiel 22 and 20, as they gather silver and brass and iron, he's angry. You stand in his sight, and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace, to blow the fire upon it, to make it hot as it can be, to melt it. He's saying, so will I gather you in mine anger. So I said, we're going to be able to stand before him when he's angry. So will I gather you in my anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. How come people ain't talking about this? Yeah, y'all just talking about I'm an Israelite, I'm making it to the kingdom. Man, you better understand the Most High. Yeah, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall ye be melted in the midst thereof. And ye shall know that I, the Most High, have poured out my fury upon you. But he also can heal you. If you in line with his word. You see? But if not, then you're going to have to deal with them. Look. Psalms 6 and 2. Psalm 6 and 2. 6 verse 6, 2nd verse. Well, if you're in order, Most High, there's nothing impossible with the Most High. Psalm 6 and 1 and 2. It says, O Most High, rebuke me not in thine anger, neither chasten me, in thy hot displeasure. Who gonna be able to stand in the sight of the Most High when he's angry? That's what it says, O Most High, rebuke me not in thine anger. He just said, I'm gonna melt you. Neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure. Chasten me, but he said, don't chasten me when you're angry and you got hot displeasure. He said, have mercy, which is not getting something you deserve upon me, O Most High. For I am weak, O Most High. Heal me, for my bones are vexed. My soul is also sore vexed. But thou, O Most High, how long? Thou, O Most High, how long? Return, O Most High, deliver my soul. O save me for thy mercy's sake. He said, well, in death, there is no remembrance of thee. In the grave, who shall give thee thanks? Who gonna thank the Most High in the grave? Nobody. In death, there is no remembrance of the Most High. You finished. Done. In the grave, who shall give thee thanks? Who gonna thank the Most High in the grave? I am weary in my groaning. All night make I my bed to swim, in tears crying to the Most High. I water my couch with my tears. He said, I water my couch with my tears, crying to the Most High. Mine eye is consumed because of grief. It waxes old because of all mine enemies. And we got a lot of enemies. Man, here we are. We're taking it lightly. That's why I say, man, it's something that we as a people, really, in essence, if you take this lightly, then you're going to have to be dealt with. You know, y'all can murmur against me all you want to and think, okay, well, point the finger at me, but you got to deal with the Most High. Go to St. John, the 5th chapter. Let's start at verse 1, because a lot of these people that go to church, they don't deal with the feast of the Most High that we honored. And when you read St. John 5 and 1, it says, after this there was the feast of the Jews, of the Israelites. And the MASHAYACH went up to Jerusalem. So he observed the feast days. The MASHAYACH went up to Jerusalem. Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool of water, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches, right? And these lay a great multitude of impotent folks, crippled people, of blind, some can't see, halt, some can't walk and move, paralyzed, withered, waiting for the moving of the water, right? For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. An angel went down and troubled the water. Whosoever then first, after the troubling of the water, stepped in, was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. So whoever got into the water first was cured from whatever disease they had. Oh, what if that could happen to us now? So many people have so many diseases, like you say, gonna bring the diseases up that's on Egypt, that you just go into this water, you're gonna be healed. And a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years. 38 years he had this infirmity. When the MASHAYACH saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, 38 years, he said unto him, will thou be made whole? Now he's standing there in front of the pool, more than likely trying to scoot his way down, better get into the pool some kind of way, since he's, had this infirmity for 38 years. MASHAYACH was asking, will thou be made whole? The impotent man answered him, sir, I have no one when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. He said, I'm trying to get to the pool, scoot down to the pool much as I can, somebody go in front of him to be healed, to be made whole. And MASHAYACH said unto him, rise, take up thy bed and walk. In his mind, he said, hey, what do you mean rise, take up my bed and walk? Immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath day. Now you notice when you read the Gospels, MASHAYACH did great things, healings on the Sabbath day. The Jews therefore said unto him, that was cured. It is the Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. So MASHAYACH said what? Rise, take up thy bed and walk. But the Jews said unto him, it's the Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee, for this man that's had this infirmity for 38 years, to carry his bed. He answered them, he that made me whole, the same said unto me, take up thy bed and walk. What did he do? First thing he do is what? Point the finger at MASHAYACH. And MASHAYACH would do things. He would heal people and say, hey, don't tell nobody I done it. Don't tell nobody I done it. But what did he do? He answered and said, he that made me whole, YAHAWASHI, the same said unto me, take up thy bed and walk. Then asked they him, what man is that which said unto thee, take up thy bed and walk? And he that was healed was not who it was. He didn't know MASHAYACH, for MASHAYACH had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place. He healed him and he got away from him. That's why you know he was all right. Because he would tell, hey, don't tell nobody I did it. If he wanted that fame and fortune in the Roman Empire that he was in, he'd have stayed there and say, hey, it was me. I did it. No. He got away amongst the multitude. He hid amongst the multitude. After MASHAYACH findeth him in the temple and said unto him, behold, thou art made whole. This is what he say. Sin no more, lest a worse thing come up unto you. Like I told you before, here it is in the scripture. He told him, sin no more, lest a worse thing come upon thee than what you're dealing with now. Sin no more, lest a worse thing come unto you. That's why when you look at go to St. John the 9th chapter. Let's look at verse 1 down. And as MASHAYACH passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. This man couldn't see from his birth. And the disciples asked him, listen to what it's saying, what? Master. See, if you got to put L-O-R-D there, that's what should be there all the time in place of L-O-R-D. Master. Because they inserted that in there, which I showed you is B-A-A-L. Means L-O-R-D. But it should say master, as this one says. Who did sin? Now this man been born blind. He said, who did sin? This man or his parents? That he was born blind. So you got to understand, they asked the questions, said, who did sin? This man is born blind. What kind of sin could he do in the womb? He couldn't do no any sin in the womb. That means he had to sin in the prior life. Like right now, we don't know when the Most High going to send a MASHAYACH back, but hey, you got a chance to come back in this third day. We're in the third day. You got a chance to die and come back in, worse condition that it is now and still deal with your punishment in hell. They asked him, the disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin? Who broke the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments? This man or his parents, that he was born blind? That's why look at the 10 Commandments. Look what the Most High said. Now, they have a right to say this because of the 10 Commandments saying, go to Exodus 20th chapter. I get there. Get another Bible. Just for Exodus 20th chapter. Where the Most High said, in verse 5, he said, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. Let's look at verse 3. It says, thou shalt have no other gods, which is idols, before me. It said, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. No image. Most High is invisible power, so ain't nothing you can put up to worship the Most High and bow down and pray before any tangible object. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. See that? Whatever idol you have, you can't bow down to nothing. Most High is invisible. Nor serve them. He says, for I, the Most High, thy power, am a jealous power. We done read his name is jealous. Visiting the iniquity, this is what it say, visiting the iniquity, that's the wickedness of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. You see? That's why they asked, who did sin? This man or his parents, that he was born blind. And showing mercy, Salakia,